Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and I thought I would do an Overwatch tier list. Now that I've played a lot more, I don't even know if I've even done one of these tier lists of like characters I hate to go against. Um, I feel like this is the best time to do it. I'm gonna try to keep it even, like I always do. It's just as much as I think like one of them will have one extra. Anna. I feel like I don't really have a ton of issues with Anna when you go against her. But if you get a really good one, you're really gonna feel it. So I'm gonna put her. I need to change these around. Um, do not want to face. I'll crush. I feel like this is just completely backwards. Really good to face. Sucks. Mid. Okay. I'm gonna put her in mid for now, but she might bump up because like if you do face a really good Anna, it's very hard. Ash is another one, like has to be really top tier, but I still don't think she's super crazy to go against. Um I think I like facing off against her. It's not too bad. Baptiste is another one of those ones where like he definitely feels like a weaker support in certain areas. Like you really have to be really good with him, and a lot of people just like don't use all of his abilities that great. So I don't mind facing off against him as much. That might change. Bastion, I don't normally like facing against. I like Bastion a lot. I'll play him a lot, but I hate going against Bastion. I'm trying to think. She's such an interesting support because like they're always really aggressive, and if they're really not that talented, you can kind of beat them back. So I'm gonna put her mid. I think that's a good idea. Cassidy, I feel like I never have a ton of issues with Cassidy. I mean, there's always like that crazy case where you get somebody who's just going after you and is really good, but I feel like I can counter him pretty well. I don't mind facing him. Doomfist. Doomfist is either two things. The person's insane or the worst tank ever. I'll put him in Not Crush because you rarely face the insane one. Diva is another one I don't mind facing. Um, I tend not to run into any of them that are super crazy, like that are just will annihilate the entire team. They're always like solid, but not anything too crazy compared to some of the other tanks. Echo, it's about mid. I feel like she can go either way. Um, I don't actually mind facing her as much, so probably she might move. Genji, oh, just a nightmare. If it's a really good Genji, you're gonna have a long day, and most of the time it's a good Genji. I do not want to face. Hanzo's kind of the same way, but I'm putting him a little bit lower because I feel like I can counter Hanzo a little bit more. But like, unless I'm playing a certain character that doesn't have the projectiles, I feel like I'm just launching everything right back to my face. Junker Queen, I just don't have many issues with. I don't. You don't see her super often, and maybe not in at least the circles I guess I end up in, but I feel like I can crush her. Junkrat, I actually feel like I can counter Junkrat pretty well. I don't really mind facing him. I feel like I'm always more of a menace Junkrat than anybody else, but and I'm not even that good at the game, so I'm not really like saying much. Kiriko, I don't really mind facing her. She doesn't do a lot of damage, back to me, or like goes after me. I mean, she does a lot of healing though. She does what she's supposed to. She supports really well. Let's see, Lucio. They can kind of be a menace low key most of the time. I'll put a mid. May, I just sucks. If you get a really good one or just one that wants to be a menace. I had one on the last games I was playing. That's why it's so fresh in my heart. Mercy, like I don't really mind. I know it's gonna be harder to like get some kills and stuff because like they're gonna be glued. But like a Mercy glued to a Pharah or to um a Bastion definitely sucks. I'll put her in mid. Myra, it does suck, but I feel like she's gotten better. Like I feel like I figured out more ways to counter her than I originally did. Orisa, I don't honestly mind facing off an Orisa. I'm going to put her there for now. I feel like I'm going to have to switch a lot more around. Pharah, I don't really like facing Pharah. It's just normally a nightmare. Ramatra, it's another tank I don't really mind that much. I'm going to move Ashe down and put Ramatra here because I think that's about the most I can have on one level. I think, yeah, I can't remember what the last one. Reaper, Loki, just, oh, I don't want to face him. I'm going to put him in the bottom. A lot of the people we've been running into is like they'll do barely any damage, just enough to get their ult, then drop down and try to get that 4K, and then you won't see him again until that same exact thing later on. And it doesn't, like it normally, like you're crushing the other team, so it really doesn't matter, but it's still annoying. Like, really, everybody just keeps getting dive bombed. Reinhardt, he's definitely like one of my least favorite tanks to go against. I don't think that necessarily because like he's like hard to go against. It's just the shield and like the pinning and stuff. I'll put him in mid. Yeah, I think that's fine. Same thing with not Junkrat, Roadhog. I feel like the hooks could be a menace and like his ult obviously, but like I feel like you could still eat him up. The healing could be can be annoying, but it's not that bad. Sigma is probably one of my least favorite tanks to go against. It's mainly just the rock throw. I tend to get targeted by that a lot, and the little shield that he throws out can get annoying. Soldier's another one that just kind of sucks to go against. If they're really good. I'm trying to think of like, feels like I'm just kind of bottom heavy. I need more in the crushing, I guess. Soldier, he's like mid to me. I haven't really faced any too crazy ones. Like anybody, I mean, like they use their ult. Obviously, they're going to get a lot of kills if you're out in the open for that. But other than that, it hasn't not really that bad. Sombra could be a menace. I don't really like facing Sombra if they're really good or just keep picking at you. It's so annoying. Symmetra, it sucks, but I feel like you could still counter if you're paying attention to turrets. Torbjorn's been really hard to face lately. I want to put a mid and then move somebody. Yeah, I feel like I don't mind Echo as much. Tracer, yeah, I hate Tracer. I just feel like I never really have a counter to Tracer, and then by the time I figure out the counter, then they switch to something else. Widow, I'm not a good snipe, and I normally can't get her. I really can just have to throw interference and then kind of throw her off. That's most of the time I'll be able to do it. I'm trying to feel like where else I need to drop some people. I feel like I'd be fine with dropping Ramatra down and Orisa. Well, I mean, Orisa can be pretty bad. Maybe I'll move this that way. And then I'll put... Don't mind facing Winston. He can be annoying, but like the dive bombing thing, if he dives into a team and you're pretty well coordinated, you can get away from him pretty well. Same thing with Wrecking Ball. His ult is devastating, but that's about it. I'm gonna put Hanzo up there. I'm gonna put Zenyatta. That negative ball could really be bad. I'm trying to think. I probably put him there and Zarya there. I think that's how I'm gonna like it. It's kind of off. It's like, you face certain characters. Obviously, there's always going to be times where people are like really, really good at what they do, and there's just nothing you can do about it. But there's other times it's just like, it doesn't matter if they're good. You can still counter them just with your own skills, and that's kind of how I feel on this list. Tell me if you guys agree. I mean, it's one of those things. It could go either way. Until next time, this is Japan. Bye, guys.